Module 3, Lesson 2, Recognizing Your Intuitive Signals. Object of this lesson is to begin to understand and trust your intuitive signals. This is my favorite subject, so I'm so excited to dive into this with you. So have you ever had a gut feeling about something and found out you were right? Have you ever felt chills during a meaningful conversation? These are intuitive signals. Your energetic guidance system is trying to get your attention. This is your intuition giving you important information. I can say with a great deal of confidence, you should always listen to your intuition for the best possible outcome. Now, have you ever thought of someone and then a few minutes or a few days later, they reach out with a phone call or maybe a text? Or maybe your phone rings and you know who it is before you look at your phone. This is your intuition at work, and we have all experienced this. Have you ever gotten an idea out of the blue and it just feels like a really, really good idea? Has someone told you something and you just have a deep knowing that it's true? You may not be able to prove it, but you just know deep in your core. These are some of the examples of how your intuition is speaking to you all the time. And it's our job to learn to become more open to our intuition and follow it. The more we tune in and the more we follow it, the more we receive from it. Have you ever had a feeling about something? Maybe you felt the urge to go a different direction to work. You don't know why, but you do it. And later you find out there was an accident on your normal route and you may have been involved in it if you had gone your normal way. This is an example of being guided by your intuition and following it. Well, oftentimes our intuition will guide us to do something, but our logical minds will talk us out of it. We follow our logical mind instead of our intuition, and later we realize it was a mistake. You may think, I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyway, and that negative outcome occurred. You later realized you knew in advance, and you say, oh, I wish I had followed my intuition or my gut instinct. Either can be true. I would like to do an exercise in your journal. I would like you to recall a time when you had an intuitive hit and you followed it. Okay, so write down what the intuitive hit was about and what your actions were based on that hit. What was the outcome? Take your time with this. Now, the second one I would like you to recall is a time where you had an intuitive hit and you did not follow it. What was the intuitive hit you received? We sometimes call this a gut instinct. Write down what that information was about and write out what you did instead and what actually occurred. These are powerful lessons. We are strongly conditioned to not follow our gut or our intuition. However, as an energy master, one of the first things you must learn is to always follow your intuition for your best outcome. When you have a hit and your logical mind or your ego mind begins to talk you out of it, become aware of this. Journal about it. I always recommend my clients to follow your intuition. It is an absolute gift to receive this information. And when we follow it, we have far better results. We begin to use the tools of energy mastery. Our key takeaway for this lesson is that your intuition speaks to you in unique ways. The more you pay attention, the stronger and clearer these signals become. I would like to give you a couple of personal stories of times I used my intuition and times that I did not. One time we had a bad storm come through and I needed to put a new roof on my house. It was a hailstorm and I needed to have a new roof. And all of my neighbors were going with this one particular contractor. And I, just in my gut, I felt like, this isn't right. I'm not going to do it. But, the cost and all of the things just really lined up and it seemed to make more sense. So I went with this guy and put down a deposit just like everybody else. And then, of course, you already know the outcome. Of course, he took off and couldn't be found, had our money. It was a big bunch of work to get it back. So anyway, that's a good example of when you feel like it's not right, probably because it's not. And then other times I've had many times where I did follow my intuition, maybe call someone or somebody pops into my mind and I feel like, oh, I should contact them. And I email them and it's something that leads to something else that leads to something else that I could have never imagined on my own. I share this with my clients. Always follow your intuition. Okay, I can't wait to hear what you do and what comes of it for you. See you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.